We're here.
I wish I could give this feeling. I wish I could give this feeling. On the corner.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Corner Podcast. Kel Danzer here, the old man Andreas and Kel, producer Cole, Bay, holding it down for us. Recording remote today because it's a crazy weekend in combat sports. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed our previous episode talking about all things pro wrestling. You know, there's a guy, CM Punk, that we mentioned a couple of times. Shout out to Grapsity Pod and everyone over there. It was amazing having them join us, and we're going to get all the members going. But if you guys haven't listened to that pod, please go listen. Phil was incredible from Grapsity, so that was really fun. Today, though, we're going to start off with boxing. It was hard. It was a toss-up to go boxing or MMA, right? Like, we have a full UFC pay-per-view coming up this weekend, but I feel like stuff is leaning towards the boxing side. So we might as well start with boxing because we had Andrew Ruiz last weekend that we're going to talk about. His fight, Isaac Cruz, was the co-main there. Another amazing performance that we'll break down. This weekend, we have an all-women's boxing card from the UK, maybe, that we'll talk about here in a second, and we'll cover everything going on in regards to that. Of course, we have YouTuber boxing that I'll be going to in LA. We'll talk about that. And we have a big announcement. Jake Paul announced his next opponent already. And Tyson Fury officially unretired. Like, come on. No one fell for this. Dre specifically talked about it like 18 times on the show. Dre never believed it.
No, never, ever. We'll discuss it, but Tyson Fury is annoying now. Like, he's annoying. He's on social media sending videos every day telling Anthony Joshua to take a fight.
Got nothing else to do.
This reeks of desperation, but we'll discuss it.
Yeah, it's not desperation. It's boredom. There's a thin line.
It's
thin line between desperation and boredom.
If you're trying to fight somebody who just lost 2 fights in a row, you're desperate.
Well, that's because Usyk is saying he needs family time.
You believe that Tyson Fury would fuck it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Do you really believe
Look,
Tyson Fury is sitting at home right now,
yeah,
knowing that Anthony Joshua is still a bigger draw than him in the UK?
100%.
You think that he would fight Usyk if Usyk was ready?
I think he would fight Usyk. I think he thinks in his mind he would beat Usyk, but he's kind of trapped in a 2-fight deal with Usyk, right? Because Usyk's not going to fight him without a rematch clause. So that traps Tyson Fury in it for 2 fights. So now you're looking at this time next year, maybe next winter, before you can fight someone like Anthony Joshua. The problem then becomes, does Anthony Joshua win those 2 fights so then you can fight him? Because then it's a mega fight. But if Usyk truly wants time off, I don't think Tyson Fury wants to just sit there missing paychecks. He fought in April. He wants to fight again. He wants money. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'll fight Dillian White if I have to. But why? When I can go out there and make real money against Anthony Joshua. So I think, and it builds. I don't think it's an offer he thinks Anthony Joshua is going to take. So it puts, theoretically, him in a bad light, Anthony Joshua, right? But people are kind of seeing through it.
Let's talk about the real about this. Tyson Fury always wanted Anthony Joshua to win, right? There's 100%. No doubt in his mind that's who he wanted to win. He doesn't really want to fight Usyk. He's not scared of him. There's just not a lot of money behind it. So he wants to fight Anthony Joshua. Now, here's the funny thing about this. Tyson Fury says, he puts out this offer, a 60-40 offer. Joshua accepts. Says December 17th. Fury says, no. December 3rd and November 26th. November 26th at Wembley. Think about this for a second. It's fucking cold. Brick cold in London. Ain't no outdoor event happening in Wembley on November 26th.
That'd be all bad.
He's blowing smoke. He's trying to make AJ look bad now. December 3rd is the only date that he could take, which would be in Principality. But if you're Anthony Joshua, it's like, you got to be desperate too, because there's no other chance.
Be desperate.
I don't know if I take this fight though. That's my thing. Is like, you can make a bunch of money fighting Dillian White and fill out a stadium. You need a tune-up fight. You've spent the last 2 years thinking about Alexander Usyk, and now you'd have to shift gears in about 12 weeks to fight Tyson Fury. Come on, man. Tyson's playing games. He wants Joshua to take this fight so he can make a big bag. But if Usyk was ready, he wouldn't fight Usyk in December. He waits till next year. He
No, I
fights
think
somebody else.
again, I think his mind is now wrapped around the money.
Yes, and Usyk ain't the
And
money.
The money's in the Middle East. He's not fighting Usyk in London. If you listen to everything he says, he's like, yo, Usyk, when you're ready, you let me know, and we're fighting in Saudi. Because that's the only way he's getting paid.
But the thing is, Usyk, he only said that once Usyk said he was hurt.
Yeah.
That's the only time that Tyson Fury was like, oh, yeah, I'll fight you now. Like, come on, dog. Here's the other thing.
I think he would have fought him in December.
Here's the other thing. Anthony Joshua has a very complicated deal with DAZN and Sky Sports. It's very complicated. There is no way they're hashing out a pay-per-view deal with Sky Sports, DAZN, and Top Rank in 12 weeks.
Sky Sports is done. Right?
No, they're
that
not.
was his last one.
But that's the thing. If you're DAZN, it has to be a DAZN pay-per-view. You can't have Anthony Joshua fight on another person's pay-per-view.
No.
But if you're Tyson Fury, you think Top Rank, he'll fight on a Top Rank pay-per-view? You think Aaron would be cool with him letting him do a DAZN pay-per-view?
You gotta split it like they did.
They won't. DAZN can't afford to do that. They have too much invested in Anthony Joshua to allow them to do another split deal, because the Sky Sports thing was petty as fuck. Sky Sports lost Anthony Joshua and said, we're going to buy out these rights because DAZN can't sell it in this area. Now it's the Sky Sports show. DAZN can't afford to do that now. Tyson Fury knows what he's doing, which is blowing smoke. The retirement was blowing smoke. Him saying he fight Usyk in December is bullshit. He ain't fighting Usyk in December. He's got enough money.
Yeah,
He'll fight Usyk next year, but he wants Anthony Joshua, and he wants to make him look bad.
Make the Joshua fight happen. One, there's two ways to split it. It has to be pay-per-view on both, right? So the Showtime Deontay Wilder deal was we're going head up on pay-per-view, and whoever promotes it better wins, right? Like, but Showtime was like, we'll take that deal because we're not behind a paywall. So we think we're going to get more pay-per-views on our side because people know how to order it through a direct TV remote. Like, good luck getting through ESPN and then ordering the fight. So Showtime rolled the dice. Now, though, it's two paywalls on either side. And you look at it from Top Rank, you'd be like, more people got E+ than they do DAZN. So let's just offer it on both platforms. And I think Top Rank gets the better end of that. Or DAZN can negotiate. We'll split in the U.S., but we get complete international rights.
Yeah, I don't think they want to do that, and I think 12 weeks is not enough time to negotiate.
Not enough time
to
to
nail down that deal. So I think it's all nonsense that Tyson Fury is doing, and he's just really trying to make Anthony Joshua look bad. And what he's trying to do is put out these really bad terms in hoping that Joshua will just accept them, because I mean the fight becomes that much easier if it's in 12 weeks. Like,
yeah, I think he'll accept the terms. The volley back from Eddie Hearn is the problem. Eddie Hearn's like, that's fine, but if Joshua wins, then it's 60-40 the other way for a rematch. Why? You guys lost 3 times.
Don't matter.
In 5 fights.
If I
then it's 50-50. No, then it's 50-50.
But it doesn't matter. Tyson Fury's that confident the way he is. Like, he should say, okay, fine. It'll be 60-40 if I lose. He hasn't lost yet. He's fighting a man who lost twice.
Yeah, 3 times in the past 5 fights.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're Tyson Fury, and if this becomes a sticking point that they ask for 60-40 on a rematch, if they win, man, they're holding you over the fire now. Like, they're just trying to make
no way
Anthony
you give
Joshua
up that. Like, no, I'm not fighting 60-40. Like, that'd be my first loss ever. I am the undisputed. I'm the lineal champion of the world. Look, if you beat me, cool, but we run his back for 50-50.
It's the draw. Here's a couple things. One, Tyson Fury can't draw. Not that he can't draw, but what's the bigger fight?
I just saw him sell out in
Wembley
as well. So.
What's the bigger fight? Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, or Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua?
Where?
Doesn't matter.
Does matter.
No, it doesn't.
100% matters.
If you put them in the same place, if they both fight in the States or if they both fight overseas, Joshua Wilder is a bigger fight.
Yeah, damn. I mean, it's Deontay Wilder. Yes.
And it's Anthony Joshua,
and it's Usyk's fault. That's why.
But I'm saying,
sure.
Anthony Joshua, he could fight a fucking pencil at Wembley and it'll sell out.
Sure.
Even though he lost, right? So that's why he's like, if I win, it's 60-40 because I'm the draw. Now everything that you are, you just lost. If I had to go 60-40 with you, you go 60-40 with me. Because at the end of the day, more people are coming to see this fight because of me and not you.
For that, he just go fight Wilder again on 60-40.
But this is my point. Like it depends. It's really dependent on if Anthony Joshua really wants to crack at Fury now and just take a bad deal to do so, like Devin Haney did with George Kambosos, and now look where he's stuck at, fighting Kambosos again. Or if Joshua is like, I'll call your bluff because I think you're bullshitting in the first place, and we're going to see who blinks first. And I think that's what's happening, because as soon as Fury said November 26th at Wembley, I was like, ain't no way nobody fighting in 10-degree weather outdoors at a stadium. It's not happening.
No, I think December 3rd would be, I think it's going to end up, and there's no inside information, just how everything shakes out, the venues they have held. I think December 3rd is going to end up being the date.
If Joshua agrees to a bad deal, that'll be the date. But now it just becomes,
I think it's going to be the date against somebody else, not Joshua.
Probably.
I think he fights again. This makes it look like I called out Usyk for undisputed. He said no. He's injured. He's spending time with family. So he punked out. I called out Joshua, made everything easy when he shouldn't get a title shot. They wouldn't agree to 50-50. He punked out. Okay, that's why I am now fighting X, Y, and Z. You know, like, that's why I'm fighting, I don't know, name somebody from Britain. I mean, he's not going to fight Joyce.
No, he's not fighting Joyce. He's not fighting Dubois. The only person that he could fight and nobody gives a shit about is Derek Chisora.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's the only fight that's truly available for him right now.
Yeah.
He's not fighting Frank Sanchez. He's not fighting any of those guys.
Nah, Frank is an interesting one, too. Nobody's fighting Frank.
Not right now.
Frank doesn't really sell yet. But Frank got skills, but he don't sell yet. So, yeah, it's one of those things where, he's not going to probably land that fight. If he does, I'd be shocked, and Eddie and them would really have to cave. And for Eddie, it's a roll of the dice. You really got to believe Anthony Joshua could beat this man. And Anthony Joshua has to believe that.
You know what's interesting as far as the blowing up smoke argument here is that those dates fall right in the middle of a big time international event called the FIFA World Cup. There's a whole lot going on there that just does not seem to really make sense and sounds desperate.
None of it. That's what I'm saying. Tyson Fury is desperate. Like, why did you retire? Because you're a liar. Like, you're trying to drum up interest in your fight. Nobody believed you, right? Nobody believed you.
That's tactic 101 in boxing.
Yeah, but it's bullshit, right? So now after you watch the fight, you go, oh, I'll fight these big dossers. Come fight me. Alexander Usyk says, oh, shit, I'm hurt. And he's like, oh, you just don't want to fight me. No, Usyk does want to fight you. You don't want to fight Usyk because the money ain't right. That's it. If Joshua says, I'll fight you, you ain't fighting Usyk. If Usyk was ready, you wouldn't fight him. Now, Joshua calls you on your bluff, says, all right, I'll fight you December 17th. There's no reason why Tyson Fury should fight him on December 17th. He said, oh, yeah,
too close to Christmas.
I'm going to fight. No, that doesn't matter.
You would think?
December.
He doesn't want to fight on December 17th. He fought Deontay Wilder in their first bout on December 6th for the same reason. Doesn't want to fight that close to the holiday.
That's bullshit. The excuse that he gave is because he wants to fight Usyk in March.
Yes.
That's why he said
I think that fight happens anyway.
But I'm saying it's bullshit. You can fight later in March, dude. That ain't the reason.
You can fight later in December. He doesn't like fighting. I'm just going off of the negotiations from that last
All I'm saying is he's getting his bluff called is what is happening right now. And there's still business at hand that, like, the common folk don't understand, like the Zone, Sky Sports, Top Rank. They don't care about any of that shit. He's just posturing. But that's why I said it's desperate. Like, he wants, of course, I think Tyson Fury wants to fight. Yeah. Of course, I don't think
he's going to be in the ring.
Yeah, I don't think he's scared of any opponent. You know, people say he doesn't want to fight Usyk. It's not a fun fight, but he'll fight him. But he's trying to get the bag. He's trying to get the biggest bag humanly possible. And to fight a guy who just lost 2 fights in a row is crazy to me. To say that, it's like, come on, man. You sound desperate. But
somebody's going to get that bag.
Like,
honestly,
bag.
Like, no.
It's not the same bag.
It's not the same bag if he fights anyone else. So I understand you call it desperation, but he's in this for the money and the sake of boredom. Like, what else does the guy know how to do, right? He's a fighter. He's going to keep fighting. But the sake of, no, I'm also a prize fighter. I make a lot of money now. So to get that amount of money that I want or anywhere close to it, Anthony Joshua's probably my best bet, even over Usyk. So I'll take Anthony Joshua coming off of 2 losses. Fuck it. Like, what is people going to say? They're not going to watch? They're going to watch. It doesn't. They're going to watch to see if he can beat Tyson. No longer is it, can Tyson beat AJ, right? Like, now that's expected. Like, you better beat AJ. But they're going to watch, like, can AJ beat Tyson? Now what if that happens? Like, so there's a different reason for tuning in to watch that fight. So, again, Fury's going to fight. He's going to fight Usyk at the beginning of next year, regardless of who he fights in December. And you'll end up having to fight Usyk twice. Because Usyk has all the belts, and they're not doing that shit without a rematch clause on either end. So Tyson Fury's next year is planned out. Just pencil someone in for December 3rd.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
We'll see. It's going to be brick-ass cold in London, though.
You
Talking about having to go to London.
You know what he's going to do? He's going to retire again. That's what Fury's about to do.
I may have to buy a coat because it's going to be brick-ass cold.
Oh, now we need this fight to happen. Make you buy a coat? Now I don't give a fuck who he fights. He can fight me. If he fights me and that makes you buy a coat, all right, cool.
I might have to, Dre. That's December 3rd. December 10th would be Teofimo and MSG.
You know who else is fighting December 3rd, right? Gervonta Davis.
Allegedly.
Probably.
We shall see.
They don't play. He's going to fight.
He's going to fight. He's going to fight somebody.
That's what I'm saying.
And we'll talk about who should be his opponent.
Yeah, well.
In a little later in the show. But you're right. He's also going to fight December 3rd. But good thing there, it's staggered. So
2 pay-per-view staggered? That's rough.
Yeah, but it's during the day and then at night.
Man, ain't nobody paying $200 in pay-per-views in one night.
Yeah, that's.
And if Tyson Fury fights Derek Chisora, people are watching Tank Davis that night.
Sure, but they'll do a great gate in the UK. Get some UK pay-per-views. Anything on the US end, I'm sure, is like cherry on top. Like, it's hard to sell daytime pay-per-views as is. So I'm not sure how much they'd count on the pay-per-view sales there. But now that we knocked out the Tyson Fury news, might as well work backwards on this thing. Jake Paul announced his next fight. Pay-per-view. October 29th. I am going to be tired as hell on this day.
Why?
Because October 29th, we now have Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. So that means not only do I have to do boxing content, probably have to pull a ton of Anderson Silva MMA content to run at the same damn time for the fight week. Then Jojo Diaz, his fight was just rescheduled. Guess what? October 29th in San Diego versus William Zepeda. All action fight.
Yep.
It's like great, same night. And then, according to Mike Hoppinger, the reports are Loma's coming back October 29th, MSG, in his tune-up fight. All at night, 3 different promotions, all in the U.S. Jake on pay-per-view. Wild-ass weekend in boxing. But, I mean, literally, to take the cake of that night is Jake Paul. And I've been saying it, need your point of view again on the record. Said the worst fight Jake can choose is Anderson Silva. Because Anderson will fuck around and forget that he's not supposed to win the fight. The instincts will kick in and Jake will realize he's in a fight with one of the greatest strikers of all time. This ain't Woodley. This ain't a wrestling background.
I mean,
this guy's a ninja.
There's a couple reasons why this is a bad fight. Primarily is because he's almost in a no-win situation. If he loses to Anderson Silva. If he wins, he beat a nearly 50-year-old former MMA fighter. That's what they'll say. That's the first thing everybody will say. They'll say, oh, it's not a boxer, it's an MMA fighter. Meanwhile, KSI fought a pro boxer who was fucking trash. And nobody cares. They don't understand to draw the line. Like, anybody can be a pro boxer. So, and it's a tough fight. Anderson Silva looked great against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He looked great in that whatever bum that he fought that night. But kudos to Jake because he had to find somebody that's going to step in the ring with him.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm still surprised he didn't try to go overseas to fight Tommy Fury. But I get it with the timing.
You can't guarantee that man is going to show up.
No, you can't. But there's the method behind the madness is you do the fight with Fury overseas, you do a huge gate, and then you go, hey, KSI, look what I did. Because that's happening in 2023. There's way too much money on the table for Jake Paul to not fight KSI. There's way too much money. It has to happen.
Yeah, but now Jake would have to go back to DAZN. It seems like KSI is kind of linked in with DAZN as a co-promoter, right?
Jake
On that,
don't care.
Jake don't care. I mean, but you don't want to co-promote between them and Showtime. You have to tell Showtime, like, yo, I'm gonna go handle this business. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And Showtime just got to eat that, I guess.
I mean, because that fight is huge.
Massive.
It's bigger than Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk.
It's the biggest fight in boxing, pay-per-view wise, that you can make right now. Who outsells them?
I don't know.
Wilder Joshua is as close as you would get.
That's what I'm
outselling them.
And
outside
Ryan
of that,
Garcia and Tank might be pretty big.
That's close. I don't think it outsells them. If they both continue to win, if Jake beats Anderson and KSI isn't it?
It depends on
know.
when it happens. There's things like price point. How much is it going to cost?
This is going to cost the full pay-per-view, just like Ryan and everyone else will.
So it's complicated. But ultimately, that means that Jake Paul, that's why I would thought that Jake Paul would try to establish himself in the UK, but the timing is bad. It's already September. You need to get a fight in. They're fighting in fucking Phoenix, right?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck fights in Phoenix?
I don't know. Me and you, Scottsdale, though, right? Cole, you coming out? Hanging out? Old Town Scottsdale?
Let's go.
All right. We bring Cole out there.
I'm
do
going
a
to
show
Sedona.
from a bar or something. Let's do it.
There's a wine country in Arizona, Sedona. It's about an hour and a half from Phoenix. I'll probably be there. Maybe. I don't know. But nobody, like, come on, man.
You do our show from Old Town.
Anyway.
In Scottsdale. Just set up shop. Cole will make it happen.
But what I do hope is that people are giving Jake Paul credit for this fight because he didn't have to take this fight. It is truly a no-win situation for him.
He had to take a fight against somebody that was going to show up.
Yeah.
Few people are more dependable than Anderson Silva.
Yeah, and who else can you fight? And people will go, I want to see that.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. It's like
he's B-side dependent, which he was not originally.
No, it's like you saw what happened with the second Woodley fight. And we don't know what was going to happen with Tommy Fury. Like, you have to fight somebody. You got to sell. You got to have some leverage. And then you got to win. It's a lot on the line for this Jake Paul fight, which means I'm very intrigued. And that's where I'll be on October 29th. I'll be in Arizona.
Me too. But I'll be watching everything else and working like a madman. It's going to be nuts. Other thing going on this weekend, since we're working backwards on this, YouTuber fighting. I'll be there. Celebrity boxing, as they're calling it, in LA. It's finally going down. Dre, Adrian Peterson versus Le'Veon Bell. Who you got?
I don't care. Adrian Peterson beat his kid, so I'm gonna say he's gonna beat Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, that's my entire comment section on ESPN Ringside right now. I was just like, well, damn. I guess that is still fresh in people's minds, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he beat his son with, a belt though? It's
belt.
Not sure the hands. Yeah, the hand speed is as good. But I think Adrian Peterson probably gets the knockout here, which is going to be insane. Main event we'll talk about, I guess, a little later when we're doing our predictions. Versus it's Anton Gibbs versus Mcbroom.
Austin Mcbroom. Yep.
Austin Mcbroom. I still have no clue where this kid came from. Cola, you're a wizard of all online things. Do you know of Austin Mcbroom?
No.
Exactly.
How about this? Mcbroom played college hoops. He went undrafted in the 2016 NBA draft.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And like he was good enough to get his name in the draft?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an athlete then.
Yeah.
Okay. I had no clue. No clue where he came from. But all right, Austin Mcbroom, you got a little bounce. I will take him a little more seriously than entering this week. But this is where the question of the day comes. And Cole, you can ponder this as well while we're thinking about this. If you can book your own celebrity boxing event, 3 fights, main card, anyone, anywhere, who you booking for those 3 matches?
You got to go first because you just sprung this on us. Now we got to try to
I did. So I feel like you got to get a good mixture of everything, right? Like you need beef, you need actual people who might look like they can box, and you need big names. So immediately, without hesitation, and these are people who can't say no, Kanye got to be in my main event.
Okay.
Need Kanye.
Who's he gonna fight?
Pete Davidson. That's number one.
Okay.
I know Pete done left Kim, but Kim Kardashian on a pole match, that would have been great. But still got beef.
Yeah,
Settle
damn.
it in the ring.
You know what?
Kanye got to be the main event.
As soon as you said Kim Kardashian on a pole, I was like, what kind of pole?
That's a whole different type. No, that's some Triller type entertainment. That's a whole different type of promotion. Now you're thinking Fight Nick all over again.
Yeah,
You see, your mind went left with the Fight Nick.
That fight's gotta happen at King of Diamonds in Miami.
So yeah, fuck it. We're putting this whole card in Miami. It's Kanye. So Kanye, Pete Davidson, top of the card immediately. Has to happen. Now, this is my bias, and this is recency bias. And I need this to go full pro wrestling. Co-main event. I need CM Punk. I need CM Punk in the co-main event. Hangman Page, man. But I need this to be like Brawl for All. Like real hokey type shit. But I need them to fight. Like for real. Just throw them in there. Might as well. Winner gets a cupcake. But that's how you end it. I'm doing TK a favor. This is how you end the beef. We're throwing gloves on them. They're brawling. So give me Punk, Hangman Page. And I don't need to see him versus Omega. I want Page in there. Because he was talking the shit first and foremost. So give me those two in the ring. Third fight is my toss-up. But I feel like you need like some influencer type shit going on in this fight. So, just for the sake of that, give me Logan Paul, hot opener. Dylan Dennis. 8 rounds.
Okay. So, I agree with the Kanye Pete Davidson thing, but I'm going to switch mine up. The co-main event has to be Will Smith versus Chris Rock.
Ooh, that's
co-main? In slap boxing.
No gloves.
No gloves. Just slap boxing. All slaps. 100% slaps. So we got to have that. And, well, man, you know what? It might not even be the co-main. I don't know where this goes.
What a build.
Because if it ain't the co-main, this will be the co-main. Dwayne The Rock Johnson versus Vin Diesel in a Fast and Furious showdown.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Big meaty man slapping meat. Even though
Yeah,
Rock's like a lot bigger.
Yeah, you want your technical boxing classics?
Yeah,
not
me. And then I want to have Ray J has to be on this card.
Ray J's the GOAT. Gotta put Ray J.
And it's gonna be a tag. It's gonna be a 3-on-2 match. It's gonna be Ray J and Omarion versus the rest of B2K.
Damn.
Where do I buy this card? This card sounds great.
You know who's gonna do commentary? Fucking Noriega and DJ FN, Drink Champs.
Drink Champs commentary. Yes. Yo, sign me up.
Every time somebody gets knocked down. Do that. Nori and his big teeth and shit.
Oh my God. I love that. I now just want to see them on commentary. I'm a little mad Triller's going wayward because they would have been great just on commentary off rip. But yeah, somebody gotta make that happen. The Zone got the money. The Zone gonna cut them the check.
Yeah, man, come on, man. Who doesn't want to see The Rock and Vin Diesel finally settle it?
God damn, that's a good card.
It's a really good card.
Chris Rock and Will Smith smacking the shit out of each other.
Boy.
You've hit all the buttons, right? Because it's like you've got the award TV, or film stars. You've got it's multi level here. We're going.
Yes.
We're taking all the different beefs from everywhere. We're really putting it together. I love it.
God. Jada got to be ringside, and they got to show her every 3 minutes like they did Pacquiao's wife.
Yeah, she gives me
during every fight. It was like Pacquiao fight, Pacquiao jinky. Pacquiao fight.
At some point, Will Smith's like losing, and she just gets up on the ring apron and just like points, and then like he just becomes unleashed, and he just hulks up.
There we go.
Yo, I just think of Rocky instead of Adrian. It's Jada. It just fucking goes
Incredible.
crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
Oh, we're off the rails.
This is a good card.
It's a damn good card.
I can't top
So-
that.
Yeah, come on, Social Gloves. Listen. Austin Mcbroom, you're a co-owner in Social Gloves. I know you fight Andreas and Gibb and shit like that, but let me book your shows for that. I got this, right? You got the bread. I'll find the motherfuckers because Kanye and Pete Davidson have to fight. That's on Kel. He gets that.
Gotta
one.
do it.
But
They
I gotta
gotta
have
do
my slap boxing match, and I gotta have in my opener. I have to have my hot opener with Ray J and Omarion versus the rest of B2K. That means
Oh my
Did you
God.
see Raz be on that Drink Champs? Sound like a 47-year-old uncle with bad lungs.
Oh my God. He ain't lasting 2 minutes of a round.
Not at all. That's why it's 3-on-2. He's just like a guy, right? Like he's
You got to make that a tag match.
yeah,
Like this is the
tag
first
in and out.
boxing that
You
has
know
a
what?
tag match. You
It
can
has to
tag
be-
in and out between rounds.
It has to be those multi-person MMA fights that we've seen online where they just
Yeah.
they just have like a 5-on-5, but it'd be like
Yep.
a 3-on-2, and they just do it in the ring. Yeah.
Damn.
I know
They
it.
can't even get old boy from IMX. Like you got to get somebody even the odds.
No,
You
man.
wanna
It's
go 3-on-2.
Ray J and Omarion. And because Ray J, he just wants to be in the shit. So it don't matter. He can bring Princess with him. It don't care. It don't matter. And he can B2K, they want to fight. Jay Book definitely wants to throw hands with somebody.
Oh, hands down.
And Fizz, he just, yeah, man, I just want to fight somebody. Like they all just want to fight somebody. It's a great opener.
No, that's amazing. We
I'm selling
we
a
have
million
everything
pay-per-views.
besides a women's fight. And I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like
You want a women's
Yeah.
fight? All right. Let me think about this real quick.
women's fight is tough. My easiest one, and this didn't make my 3 because I try to limit it to 3. And I'm not trying to perpetuate beef.
I got it.
I need Cardi and Nikki.
That's what I was gonna say. That's it.
I need Cardi and
Cardi and
Nikki.
Nikki. Yes.
That's it. Hands down. Cardi
In a
and Nikki. to
Brooklyn
throw
backyard alley match, right? Like
hands.
with a rhyme book suspended above the ceiling.
Oh, Cardi's right hand is probably filthy.
Probably is.
Nikki
Probably
don't
is.
look like but Cardi looks like she'll just catch you with real
Yeah.
quick, and it's over. Cardi B comes out southpaw. That's it. I'd lose my shit
Yep.
and just hit you with the quick lead right hand like Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
So yeah, that would be the women's card. Cole, yeah, it's too hard to follow that up. Do you
That's-
have a match to throw in here?
I mean,
I
I've
feel like if we were booking a good solid 5-fight card between all 3 of us, we'd be all right.
I mean, I'm gonna just like book all kinds of stuff that I just would want to see. So really, we know that this is going to be catered towards either sports media personalities or the Brooklyn Nets. First of all, Kyrie Irving gauntlet match. Like he got beef with everybody. He got beef.
opponents.
He got beef with everybody. Okay, so like sometimes some
Oh.
Cavaliers will come in, some Celtics will come in, like
You know what?
Jalen
Wait.
Brown will come in and sock him.
Cole,
Like
Cole.
what we
You
got?
know who the final boss has to be? Patrick fucking Beverly.
No,
Cole got the
he might.
countdown
Yeah, no.
clock like the Royal
That's the
Rumble.
thing. Is like everyone. No, that's the thing. Is like you kind of sneak in the pot because everyone's gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be LeBron. Oh, it's gonna be LeBron. Oh, it's gonna be Pat Bev. Just swing that in there, just because he wants to be there and he's here to get a paycheck. Next to that, Stephen A. Smith is going to fight Kevin Durant.
Oh my God.
Poor Stephen A.
Kevin Durant might sign for that today. Like,
Oh,
if
100%.
you offered that, KD's
Oh,
like,
100%.
do I
Like
sign?
just the level of petty, he'd be like, I don't need money off this. I'm just signing the dotted line.
That reach advantage is just insane.
Yeah, you want I'm trying to think of TK versus MJF would be a good one. Let's throw them in a ring together. You
Poor
really
TK.
want recency bias because we've had a whole bunch of stuff going on in the movie industry with Olivia Wilde's new movie. Let's just throw them in a tag match. So let's have Olivia Wilde with Harry Styles on one side. We'll have Chris Pine and Florence Pugh on the other side. Mixed tag match. I think this is the way. Like who spit on who? Let's just get it all figured out. Cause I don't know what are y'all doing. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's just
Y'all
ain't.
too rich. Y'all
Yeah,
too
come
rich
on
for
now.
this. No, I love that fight though. Recency what?
Yeah.
Wild is getting fucked up too. I don't think Olivia Wilde can fight at all.
I don't know.
So that's-
Never know.
That's all bad.
Can't say that. You can't say that about her. Okay, not around me. Okay.
No, so that is amazing. Fantasy booking. at its finest, celebrity boxing matches. Let's hit the break, come back and talk about actual boxing. We're going to give our predictions for everything coming up this weekend. Still got to recap Andy Ruiz and his win. And then, breaking news all over. The Queen has passed away of England. So RIP to her, but it has ramifications in the fighting world that we will talk about in the next segment. So don't go anywhere. Be right back after this. Just that quick, we are back. Time to talk everything from last weekend to this weekend's boxing. Andy Ruiz, Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, celebrity boxing predictions just for the main event going there. So much to talk about. But before we hit the break, we mentioned the Queen has passed away. So England and the world is in mourning. 96 years old, hell of a life. But there's a fight scheduled for London on Saturday. Clarissa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. All women's card, history in its own right. At the time of recording this, Dre, we don't know what is going to happen there. Everything is up in the air, but I figure it doesn't hurt giving our predictions and talking about the card a little bit anyway, in case it goes on as planned. So, from where we stand right now, co-main event is as exciting as the main event. Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgardner going to unify the 130-pound titles. Mayer has 2, Baumgardner has 1. The trash talk has been incredible between these two. If the fight is anywhere near as good, we are in for a treat when they step in the ring.
Yeah, and I think these two are going to throw hands. I mean, Michaela Mayer's been in a war. Alicia Baumgardner seemingly has found herself. She hasn't had great opposition as Michaela Mayer has, but she's shown great power. She seems like a great athlete. But yeah, these two just clearly do not like each other. And for a co-main event, I think this will be more competitive than the main event. But we're in the UK, so that could complicate matters. But yeah, man, I think I want Alicia Baumgardner to win, but I think Michaela Mayer is just a little bit more seasoned. She's had a little bit better opposition. In terms of fighting styles, it's always tough when you have power and you only have 2-minute rounds against an opponent who's proven to be very durable. So Baumgardner's gonna have to lay it on Michaela Mayer early and hurt her. And then she has to try to find a way to finish the job and win these rounds. If she can't do that, if Michaela Mayer just keeps her on the outside and boxes her, Michaela Mayer's probably going to win a decent decision here. She'll probably win 97-93 if that happens. Baumgardner, she has to hurt her. She has to hurt her and get her respect early.
Yeah. Michaela Mayer hasn't fought from the outside in 4 fights. She's gone in there and slugged it out with every opponent. Granted, they're not Alicia Baumgardner. And she could fight smarter and understand. But she is now so used to, due to those 4 fights, of standing in the pocket, trading. She gets hit a lot. She just delivers more punches than she gets hit with. I think we're going to see that early before the switch is made to box. I'm having Michaela Mayer win. I think Baumgardner drops her in the second. And Michaela has to survive. And then that's like, whoa, newsflash, I got a box. And then she starts using that amateur pedigree. I think the amount of fights in the amateur rankings are drastically different between the two. Mayer, obviously being an Olympian, everything else. Use that. Take her into deep waters. Try to drown her. Don't sit there and give her the opportunity to really take hold of this fight with her power. But I think Michaela slips up once, and I think Alicia makes her pay. But in the end, Michaela, I think, takes this fight and takes the belt. And it's probably a fight people will clamor for a rematch for eventually.
It could be an all-action fight. I could see that. But the trash talk has been pristine. Like, these two just hate each other, and they've called each other names and everything. So I'm excited for this fight, as long as it still is going to happen. If it doesn't happen on Saturday, which it could, they'll figure it out. But yeah, it's a very good co-main event. And
they look like $1 million.
They do.
We talk about Jade Cargill all the time and just the presence of when she stands in the ring, how she looks as the AEW champion in wrestling. They both have that. They look like stars.
They do.
They
absolutely do.
This is one hell of a match, whichever way it goes. Main event, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall. Marshall, only person to beat Clarissa Shields in boxing. Yes, it happened in amateurs. Dude. Shields hasn't lost since.
it happened a decade ago when Clarissa Shields was 17. Savannah just turned 21.
People don't forget.
Clarissa has won 50 fights in a row since that time. 50. Savannah Marshall didn't medal in either Olympics. This is crazy to me. The betting line as it stands right now is almost even money.
What? What? Cole, get the checkbook.
All right. What do we need? I'm driving right back out there. Here we go.
It's absurd. They were both at minus 110, I believe, according to the Caesar Sportsbook when I last checked, the William Hill Sportsbook, which is goofy. But there's a reason behind this, and I'll get to the reason behind this betting part first. They're fighting in the UK. Clarissa Shields doesn't knock out people. There's going to be a couple fucked up scorecards. So that's why I think this might be an even money fight, is because the odds makers are like, they ain't letting Clarissa get, unless she like completely runs her over, and even then they'll have Adelaide Bird show up with a terrible scorecard, 190 or some wild shit like that. But this fight shouldn't be competitive. Here's one reason. Savannah Marshall has 10 knockouts in 12 fights. People are like, she's got power. Okay, cool. The opponents that she fought heading into that fight, before they fought Savannah Marshall, the total combined record of all of her opponents was 97, 116, and 13 draws.
Yeah.
I mean, when is the last time that you've seen somebody fight a combined record where everybody has a losing record? Only 8 of her 12 opponents have a winning record. One of her opponents had a record getting into that fight of 11, 55, and 4, guys.
Oh, well, that stacked the deck against that odds. You got to remove them. They're an outlier.
Even if you take that one out, this is obscene. On the other side, Clarissa Shields, also 12-0. The total combined record of her opponents before they fought her, 166, 16-4. She only fought one person who didn't have a winning record. You know who that person was? Franchon Dezern Cruz, who was also making a pro debut, hasn't lost since, and is currently the undisputed super middleweight champion.
Yeah, and Clarissa could get that belt if she wanted to. Fun fact, Franchon made Clarissa's gear for the fight this Saturday. Yes, so she sold her gear, and they fought in their first professional fights, but they go back and they're super cool.
So let's treat this like we would treat college football. Strength of schedule.
Yes.
There's no fucking way Savannah Marshall should be able to sniff Clarissa Shields in this fight. You've knocked out 10 people, and that's all she talks about. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. Clarissa's like, fuck you. Look who you fought. I'm the GOAT. I beat everybody. The only thing that stands in her way is the UK judges. That's it. I don't see any way that Clarissa loses this fight. 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 2 divisions undisputed already in her career, trying to go back to the middleweight division and be undisputed again. She's not even 30 and is already the greatest women boxer of all time.
Yep. The question becomes, does Clarissa want to stop her and take chances, or does she want to outclass her and get the hell out of there?
She wants to embarrass her. She wants that. She wants to embarrass her. She doesn't want. Clarissa's smart. She's not a dumb fighter. Like if Savannah hits her and she's like, she'll back off and she'll just box her. I don't think Savannah's got much. I don't think there's much she can do with Clarissa.
No. Clarissa's fought 3 or 4 fighters better than Savannah already.
Yes, this like I talked to Clarissa last week, and she was like, y'all keep making this my tough fight. She beat me when I was 17, and I made the analogy, and she laughed. I was like, yeah, it's like somebody going, I dunked on LeBron when he was 9. Like nobody gives a fuck. LeBron's a grown man now. It's like the person who dated Beyonce in high school. You can't keep living off of that shit.
Yeah, that's tough.
Savannah's got 1 title. 1 title, didn't medal in either Olympics. And when she beat Clarissa Shields, that was controversial. In amateur boxing, come on, man. I'm looking forward to this fight, but Michaela Mayer Bumgarner should be a more competitive fight. The judges will be the biggest competition that Clarissa Shields has in this fight.
100%. I think it will be, if it goes the distance, a clear 10 rounds to nothing, Clarissa, and then the scorecards will be 7-3. Like the scorecards will just make it closer, but everyone's eyes will be like, "Oh my God, she's dominating."
Yeah, Clarissa's just too good, man. She's way
too good. And if it was 3 minutes rounds, Clarissa would stop her.
Probably. But Clarissa, she boxes, man. She boxes. She knows how to throw punches and bunches when necessary. As long as, I mean, if Savannah Marshall's power is really that real, then I guess we'll find out. That's something that we don't know yet. But I've watched Savannah fight. Savannah Marshall fought on the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather undercard.
Really?
Most people don't know this. That. Savannah Marshall was signed to Mayweather Promotions. Yeah, exactly. Nobody remembers.
Floyd missed the boat on this one. No, but yeah, she has one way to win. And if she doesn't win by that knockout punch, good luck. And not only do you have to knock Clarissa out, if you knock her down, congrats. But you got to knock her smooth out to probably win. Because then Clarissa just gets on her bike, you bide some time, and you got to solve the puzzle all over again. Yep. Much like we saw with Wilder Fury in their first one. Like, yo, bro, you knocked him down twice. It was a draw because you had no answers.
Much like we just saw this weekend with Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz.
Yes, we'll get to that one. Your card's a little generous. Let's actually talk about that now because we gave our predictions for this fight. Andy Ruiz just fought pay-per-view against Luis Ortiz. Before we get to the main event and how you scored it and how you saw it, Isaac Cruz in the co-main.
Isaac Cruz. He's corrected everybody. His name is Isaac.
Isaac.
Yes, that's how you pronounce his name.
Okay, it's because he's socking people. Is this what? Is this like a? It's just real West Coast of him.
No, he ain't taking y'all bullshit. He's like, my mama named me Isaac.
Isaac. Yo, sidebar. I didn't hear anyone say I socked somebody until I got to the West Coast. I had no clue what that was.
Really? Wow.
Yep. And then I heard it in a Schoolboy Q song where he says I sock on jaws. And that shit is hilarious. So Isaac Cruz wins again impressively. Call him like a mini Tyson. They do that for anyone who throws hands like that. Again, level of competition means a lot. But this is now 2 straight fights since fighting against Tank Davis and taking Tank the distance, which no one else can say. It's a pretty good showing. And I feel like Isaac Cruz's star power is just building. And there's only one logical explanation for his next fight.
The rematch with Tank.
It has to be December 3rd.
But Tank, being a dork in the crowd,
yes,
he was like, there. "Oh, you should go fight Rolly Romero, bro. Relax."
They might put that fight on the co-main if Tank fights someone else.
But it's Ryan. Like, dude, it's like, listen. Isaac Cruz pushed you to the limit. Nobody knew who he was. Now he's becoming a star. And like what I said last week, Cruz winning makes Tank's win look that much better.
Yep.
But now you need to go out there and knock him out. Because remember, people forgot Tank hurt his hand in that fight.
Uh-huh.
If you're not fighting Ryan Garcia, you need to fight Isaac Cruz and knock him out. Because if you don't, it just don't look good. Because now it's the resume question again. Like, who have you fought? Who have you fought? So he's got to stop playing, man. He shouldn't have been in the crowd. He should have said nothing.
Like, if he was there, he should have said, I want to run this
He was
back.
there. He was in the crowd.
He was. But if you place him there, it's only to say, yo, we got to run this back.
He was just there to support PBC. But he ended up caught in the shit storm. They put the camera on him and he's like, nah, like, no, dude. Like, you just watched him destroy Yuriokas Gamboa faster than you could.
Yep.
And you watched him demolish Eduardo Rodriguez. Why wouldn't you fight this guy? You're not fighting Ryan Garcia. It's not happening. I don't see it.
It should have happened. But
should have happened, but y'all wasting too much damn time. And I mean, we haven't even talked about it in several weeks, but this Errol Spence Terrence Crawford thing is like still lingering.
It's coming down to the wire.
I mean, we're at the wire. We are literally at the wire because Thanksgiving weekend is not too far off. Jake Paul now has his date, which means he has a pay-per-view just weeks before you could possibly make this fight happen. Tank says he's fighting December 3rd. It has to be in the first 3 weeks of November. Actually, the first 2.
Yep.
I don't know, but if you're Gervonta Davis, I figure you got to fight Isaac Cruz because you can't keep doing this. The jig is up, bro. Like, we know you'll win these fights. Like, you got to fight somebody. Stop playing. So Cruz looked great. He had a great little post-fight interview. He wants to fight Gervonta again. If you're Gervonta, the fight's even bigger now in the rematch. Take the damn fight.
Hands down. It's the best fight Gervonta can have outside of Ryan Garcia. And I'm getting doubtful that Ryan Garcia fight is going to happen.
No, I don't see it.
It seems like they were close at one point. Now it just is gone radio silent. So,
All lies.
And that sucks for Ryan Garcia too. But Jojo Diaz has a date, and if Ryan wants to wait, maybe he gets Jojo. But now Ryan's waiting again.
Yep.
So it's just bad all the way around for both of those guys involved. The last thing before we get out of here, Dre, let's just pick the main event of this celebrity boxing event. We touched on it. Austin Mcbroom versus Anton Gibb, who you had pointed out to me, is in really good shape. Yeah. I looked at him. I was like, yo, he's not flabby. Yeah. Anton Gibb, like he's yoked. I'm not sure if USADA presides over these proceedings, but that guy he's withy. He got like giant wings and an 8-pack now. So it should be an interesting fight for whatever you consider a fight is for celebrity boxing. But Mcbroom is co-owner of this. He got to win. It's your promotion.
I'm not predicting any of these fights. I don't know who the fuck these guys are and what they're doing out here. I don't care.
You got to predict it because the winner could fight KSI. You're such an old man curmudgeon.
I'm not predicting this shit. It's so bad. This is how bad this weekend is for me, right? Like we're gonna do our MMA show and everybody like we'll talk about. I'm gonna be at this UFC card, and I really don't feel like being there. And I'm probably gonna be watching the Social Gloves thing on my phone, so I get it for free.
Yes, and shout out to Fight TV.
And the Clarissa Shields fight is happening. I'm just like, this is such a weird week in combat. It's weird.
It's only gonna get busier, sir. It seems like there's just fight stacked on top of fight stacked on top of fight stacked, and celebrity boxing is not going anywhere.
Well, so I don't care. Can we talk about the Luis Ortiz fight and Ruiz? I don't care about.
We can end it on a good note then. Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz. Main event, Luis Ortiz, who all are 73 years old.
Minimum.
Theo Ortiz is what I'm going to call him. Went into this fight, gets Andy Ruiz, and he had his spots. I'm not going to lie. And he did what he's done to many opponents, which is cue him at the end of the jab, be really technically sound. In all forms and fashion, he's a Cuban boxer. He fights like one. Andy Ruiz, to his credit, came out, was 20 pounds heavier than Luis Ortiz, but still kind of like trimmed. So it leads me to think he converted some fat into muscle and used that and dropped Luis Ortiz 3 times. And won a close fight. Many people had it, 6-6 with the drops?
I mean,
so
I scored this fight 113, 112 Ruiz, and that was one of the scorecards as well.
That's dangerously close. So you had him down 2 rounds?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 knockdowns.
He had 3 knockdowns to win the fight. And here's the problem. This fight did nothing for Andrew Ruiz. He'll get the Deontay Wilder fight, but he's going to get smoked.
It did enough then. If you get the Deontay Wilder fight, it did enough.
Well, yeah, if you want to die, that's cool. Because, I mean, if you march into your death, my problem is that Andrew Ruiz came into this fight. Yes, Luis Ortiz is old. We never knew when Father Time was going to step in. Father Time was like, look, if I can't have your body, I'll have your chin. And now he's been knocked down by Charles Martin, Deontay Wilder. Like, everybody's cracked that chin now. But Ortiz got up and still threw more punches than Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is not beating a Deontay Wilder, barely winning rounds by not doing anything. You have the faster hands, but you wouldn't let him go. How the hell are you going to get past Deontay Wilder? It's not going to happen. So I wasn't impressed with this performance. The knockdowns were good for him. But this wasn't one of those performances where I come away was like, I really want to see Deontay Wilder and Andy Ruiz. I didn't get that from this fight at all.
I do. I really do. Because Andrew Ruiz, one, hasn't got dropped. So it's not like his chin is questionable.
He got knocked down by Chris Arreola.
Oh, he got dropped that last fight. And then before he knocked out Anthony Joshua, he hit the ground.
Yes.
Came back and beat. Well, he hit the ground, beat both people. I need to see what Andy Ruiz has. And more so for Deontay Wilder, that's the perfect collision course for those two. Now the WBC are being stupid and be like, well, now it's a tournament to name the next number 1 contender for Tyson Fury. For what? He's cleared out 2 years of challengers, allegedly.
Mauricio Sulaiman has to do something. Like, look, man, he just made like a lizard belt for Canelo and Triple G. Like, what the
Oh
fuck?
my God, it has dragon talons.
Yeah, it's like, and nobody gives a shit. Like Mauricio's, like I got to hold the money belt before Connor and Floyd fought. Like these belts are so fucking dumb.
And that was like a stupid amount of money on that belt.
Yeah, and so if he wants to make like a tournament because he knows Tyson Fury is not fighting any of his guys anytime soon, sure. Wilder versus Ruiz, Wilder's got to beat Helenius on October 15th, and then Wilder Ruiz happens sometime early next year. Ain't nobody else there.
No, there's no one for those two to fight. Wilder, this is his best chance to be recreated. He's not young. You got to reinvigorate his heavyweight career at 36.
So really, what you're fighting for is to fight Anthony Joshua. Let's be honest. Deontay Wilder came out here and said some dumb shit again. He still thinks Tyson Fury cheated to beat him. He still thinks this.
He wants a fourth fight. No one wants to see a fourth fight.
No, come on, man. Like, they were exciting, but you had a draw with a fat man who rolled off the couch, and then you got knocked out twice.
Yes.
I don't want to see, like, Joshua Wilder is the biggest fight that you can make in heavyweight boxing right now outside of Joshua and Fury. It's the biggest fight. Nobody wants to see you against Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's going to have to get rid of them titles, but when he does that, you're going to retire too because you're old. So fight Helenius, fight Ruiz, and if Joshua's still hanging around, fight Joshua. If you win all three of those fights, see you later.
You made your money. Yeah. Go chill in Alabama. So now we'll see how everything plays out. A stacked boxing weekend again. And then next week is Canelo week. So we come from this fight week right into Canelo Triple G 3. So no slowing down in terms of boxing. We appreciate you all for listening. Make sure you guys go back, listen to our pro wrestling show from earlier in the week. I can't tell you how amazing that was. And then look out for our MMA show, which comes at you tomorrow, if you're listening to this on Friday. So make sure you guys catch up on all our shows this week. We appreciate you all as always. Follow us on social media at Corner Podcast _ on Twitter, Corner Club for Life on Instagram. Check out our YouTube page. You can see our faces every week and listen to our shows. Shout out to producer Cole Bebe for holding us down from home in LA. Always appreciated. Everyone at Blue Wire. Until next time, we're out.
Peace.